Good morning. Good morning. We're in Brooklyn. Hi, everybody. Just waiting to see if anyone has joined this morning. Oh, there's 9 people there already. Give me a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear me. So we've still got a few minutes before we officially start, but here we are in Brooklyn, and some of you might recognize this picture. It's the one I was using as the banner on my Buy Me a Coffee page. I've changed it since. Hi Catherine, good morning. You can hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Hi Anne, lovely to see you. So yes, this is, let me show you where I am. Just back away slowly, back away slowly. This is our local pub. So this is the Angler's Rest, and the front bar is called Raising the Bar. And I just really liked this image when we first moved here, so I took a picture of it and made it my banner pic for my Buy Me a Coffee account. Hi Michaela, good morning, lovely to see you. Hi Cece. Audio and video are good. Thank you so much for that feedback. So yeah, this is the pub. We're not going to the pub. It's coming up to 7 o'clock in the morning, so the light's just not gone out, the floodlight that was here over the front entrance, and they've just turned that off. So anyway, I think that's a rather cute picture, and that's actually a depiction of the bridge here in Brooklyn, the railway bridge, which we should get a glimpse of that as we move around. Hi Joanne, lovely to see you. We have a very, very misty morning here this morning. Look at this. This is all fog and mist. It's going to be gorgeous sunshine today. We're going to get 20 degrees, but we're starting with the river mist. And when we get up to the top of the railway station, we'll probably get a really good indication of what that looks like. But here we are. This is all there is to Brooklyn. We've got over to my left over here, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, which is all well and good, Cece, if it was actually open. So over on my left here, we've got one coffee shop with tables outside, so I think they're open. We've never tried to come to a coffee shop this early. Then over on my right, we have, let me see, where are we? We have the other coffee shop. That's rather cute, that one over there. And my intention is that we'll finish up here. So this road here up to the right goes to the boat ramp. You have to go up over a hill and round the other side, and then you get to the boat ramp over the other side of the hill over there. We won't go around there. We'll go round to the marina instead today. 11 p.m. beer time. Sounds good, Michaela? Prost. All right, I'm just going to cross the road and then I'll turn around and greet you all officially for our final look at Brooklyn. Good morning. So the bike riders love to come through here, and this is one fellow just going in for a coffee. They've come down a big hill on the road out of Sydney, and they stop here in Brooklyn for a break before they continue on up the hill on the other side of the river. All right, so I just wanted to come over here and show you, there's a rather gorgeous cafe here called Brooklyn's Corner. I really like the way they've got the front door here with the bougainvillea vine growing over it. It's rather pretty. So it'll probably look a little bit better when it's a bit lighter in about half an hour from now on our way back. We'll come back and order a coffee. And then up the hill we've got some really old, for us here in Australia, really old is fairly meaningless in other parts of the world, I realise. Hi Michelle, good morning. But these are 2 terraces. Probably 2 of the oldest buildings in Brooklyn. All right, so of course it's winter. That's a frangipani tree there, which is really beautiful when it's got leaves and flowers on it. But we're going to head around to the railway station. So let me just turn around to the camera momentarily. Good morning. Hi everybody. Lovely to see you. Thanks for joining me. Hi Lethargy. Thanks for joining me here in Brooklyn this morning. And sorry, that's a bit negligent, isn't it? Before we begin, I'd just like to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional lands of the Karingai people and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Alrighty, so let's take a look, one last look at Brooklyn, and I will talk to you today about where we're going and why we're going there, possibly some future plans as well. So, hi Joanne, lovely to see you. Now, Brooklyn is on the banks of the Hawkesbury River, which is the northern boundary of the Greater Sydney area. It was first explored from a colonial point of view by Captain Arthur Phillip, who was then Governor Phillip of the colony, in 1788, just a few months after their first arrival in Sydney Harbour, or Sydney Cove. So we're about to go down to the point that marks that occasion, and this is one of the few other establishments here in Brooklyn. As you can see, it's a very small town. Fitzy's Fish and Chips here on my right. And the cars that are pulling in now are here for the train. This is a commuter train. It goes through Brooklyn once an hour to Sydney. And so this is the main train coming through now for the commuters. They park here to catch the train into Sydney. And we're going to walk along there in about 10 minutes from now. But first of all, we're going to go up in the lift and go down and have a look down onto the river. All right, so this is the obelisk that marks the occasion of... I just called the lift and then I left it. This is the obelisk that marks the occasion of Cook's arrival, discovery and naming of the Hawkesbury River in, actually it's 1789, I thought it was 1788, there we go, I've got the first date wrong already. But in any case, it wasn't very long after the first arrival. And alongside it we have this beautiful, it's called coastal rosemary, it's one of our native flowers. For anyone who's interested in our native flora. And why don't I give you a view with the obelisk and those flowers as well. There we go. All right. I've noticed there's a few brush turkeys around. There's one up in that tree over there, and there's one down there on the park. But we'll go up to the railway platform first and look down over the river. So let's do that. Alright, so as I said, our time in Brooklyn is coming to an end. We've been here since the beginning of April. We were here for 4 months for our house sit. And the signal should be fine in here, but just a warning, we're going up in an elevator.
Doors closing. Please mind the doors.
Yes, that's just a very, very tiny little one, Cece. All right, so up in the lift. So our time here officially ends on the 30th.
Doors opening.
Thank you, ma'am. Our time here in Brooklyn officially ends on the 30th of July. So that's when the homeowners are returning and we get to hand back the keys. We got an email from them yesterday just confirming that. But in the meantime, we'll be actually taking over another house sit. So we overlap by a few days. Oh, the mist is very, very, very thick. Look at this. We're not going to see much just for the next little while, so we're going to have to wait for the mist to rise. But it's still rather gorgeous. Look at this. Very spooky. Very spooky. So over here down below we have the Hawkesbury River is the name of this station. Looks cold. It's not too bad, lethargy. 8 degrees. What's that in Fahrenheit? Double it and add 32 or something. Perfect hide and seek weather. Yeah, that's a river out there. Look at this. I remember doing a tour up in the Blue Mountains where I was supposed to show you the view from the scenic skyway. And look at this. It is rather spooky, isn't it? Look at that. So yeah, 46.4 in Fahrenheit is the temperature right now, but we're getting to 20 degrees today. This is the middle of winter, the official middle of winter, and we are going to get 20 degrees, which I know is around about 68 in Fahrenheit. So not too shabby. It's going to be lovely, actually. It's going to be a beautiful day. When this mist lifts, it's going to be an absolute cracker. So we've been here, as I said, for 4 months. I just really like this little pontoon. Let's have another look at the pontoon. Send the cool here, please. Oh, Cynthia, I know it's been so hot in the northern hemisphere, hasn't it? You guys are really suffering over there right now. I think it was Andrea and Evia posted a picture of the thermometer on their outside wall that showed 50 degrees. That's just horrible. I just hope it probably was, it may have been in a sheltered sun lit courtyard or something, but even so, I mean, to get to 50 degrees, that's just horrendous. Cynthia, I'm blowing it your way. Here we are, have some lovely cool fresh air. I'm blowing it in your direction. There we go. Have some cool air. All right, so let's go down and walk along the waterfront. And before we do, I'll just show you this. So this is about the river itself from an Indigenous viewpoint. Dirubban is the Indigenous name. Sorry, I did it again. I called the lift and then didn't get in. Dirubban is the indigenous name for the Hawkesbury River, the Aboriginal name, and it says here Dirubban is interpreted as wide, deep water. It's the home of the Guringai and Darug people, dwelling here 15,000 to 20,000 years before the arrival of the Europeans. The drowned river valley shoreline provided yams, fish, shellfish and fauna, while the sandstone cliffs provided shelter. And this is an Aboriginal rock carving. You can see there are 2 stingrays in that image. And I've actually seen that, but it's in a bit of an out of the way spot. It's just up the river from where we live, at a point where there's a...
Doors closing. Please mind the doors.
There's a coffee shop, but that's it. There's nothing else there. So I actually met Matt. Does anyone remember Matt, who used to guide in the early days of Hago? In fact, it might have even still been called Virtual Trips back when Matt was guiding.
Level. Doors opening.
Yeah, CC, it's actually really very pleasant for winter. So let's go up and have a look at the Riverboat Postman before we walk around the riverfront. So Richard and I took a trip on the Riverboat Postman, and it is actually a working postal run. So there are a lot of riverfront communities in this area that are only accessible by boat, and this boat here provides the postal service. But obviously, to be financially viable, it also operates as a tourist cruise. So you can come on here, have morning tea and lunch, and go have a guided cruise up the river, and it's really quite lovely. So here we go. This is the Riverboat Postman. Let's go in and actually have a look. Their office is really cute, and the boat itself, it's a boat. The cute boat that they used to use doesn't meet compliance for, OH&S, all those sorts of issues any longer, so they've had to get a bigger boat that has all sorts of accessibility, compliance and safety compliance, which is fair enough. So that's the Postman there. So we did that. We sat up top. We had a nice morning tea with tea and Anzac biscuits. There's also a little street library here. Yeah, Matt was great, wasn't he, Joanne? And I met him there for coffee at the cafe that I was talking about. So we saw the stingray carving while we were there. So this is, as I said, this is just the office for the Riverboat Postman. And this is the ship, the boat that goes up the river. I think it made 6 stops along the river during a 3-hour period. Called into Dangar Island twice, and some of you may remember that we actually did a Hago tour where I took you on the ferry across to Dangar Island, and we did that from this wharf here. Unfortunately, the signal was very poor. I tried to go up the hill and lost the signal almost completely, and so we had to hang around the waterfront, which was no bad thing. So I'm not sure where the ferry parks overnight, but it's not one of these guys. I think he parks a little bit further away. Oh, we're not done yet, CC. We've still got more to see. So here we go. This is the marina. We're going to walk past the marina and out to the point. The BMAC link in the tour. Oh, thank you for letting me know that, Cynthia. I'll check that. Thank you so much. I'll check that out. Thanks for letting me know. But there is another one in if you want to go there direct, it's Lynn S, LYNNES. Or there's one in the header on my YouTube channel. There's a little button on the header image. Or if you're doing it from a mobile, you just go to my about, and I think it's listed there. Thank you for letting me know about that so I can fix that. All right, so that's the Riverboat Postman. Cute little office, isn't it? And we get lots of day trippers coming up from Sydney, and they're all of a certain age, which is understandable. Those people of a certain age have lots of time on their hands. They can come out in big groups and join lovely excursions like this. All right, so there's a nice little restaurant here. We haven't been to it. We're watching our budget, but it's a nice seafood restaurant called Lifeboat Seafood. Across the road. Oh, listen. I just heard the song of the magpies. I have competition from a boat, so I can't hear the magpie just at the moment. But I'm sure we'll hear it again. Actually, no, there's a bus or something coming up here as well. Let's get past that. What is it? No, it's not a bus, it's a truck. What's he doing here? It's a dead-end street. Not sure what he's up to. CC, I'm with you. So here we go, here's the little lifeboat seafood, which is beautiful in summer, just sitting out here in this courtyard surrounded by greenery. There we go. Rather nice little area here. Not so nice on a cold, wet day, but in warmer weather it's lovely just sitting out here. And from the marina you can hire boats. You can pull in and get your supplies if you're on the water. So they have a small supermarket and bottle shop in here. We can hire boats and jet skis. We're lucky the little arm of the river that we're living on is a dead end. Basically, it's a small bay that's been created by the causeway where the railway runs across. And there's a really low speed limit for boats in that area so that we don't get the crazy jet skiers coming through. But this is quite quirky. We've got, it looks like it's been constructed to look a little bit like the front of a... Why do the lights keep going off every time I go somewhere? What do you call it? Well, it's the ship's wheel area. So it's meant to look like the navigational part of the boat. Up there, is it the crow's nest? Is that what they call it? Anyway, so this is the central part of the marina. And then out here, this is a beautiful boat. It's one of the few timber boats on the river. It's really gorgeous. Otherwise, they're all sort of more modern motor launches like this one beside it. But this one here is a really lovely looking boat. There's actually someone on it, so I won't intrude on their privacy, but that's rather nice. And that's the old Riverboat Postman over there, one of the previous Riverboat Postmen. So I think it's still used as a backup. Crow's nest is at the top of the mast. Thanks, Cece. You can tell I'm not very nautically inclined. And this is what you can hire. You can hire this one here that's got lots of room for all your mates. You can have a bit of a look. We've got, I reckon you could seat about 10 people easily in there. You've got your esky. That's an Australian term. A spot to, icebox. A spot to set up with a barbecue on the back. And there we go. Right, so let's keep walking along the riverfront. I can see the mist is slightly lifting. We've got a little bit more visibility, not much. Dangar Island is over in that direction. I can't see it at all. You wouldn't even know it was there. So there's a restaurant here. They serve takeaway fish and chips. So this is what you're talking about, CC. We've got the steering wheel there. The steering wheel. I know that's not right either. I was looking up there. Is that the crow's nest? That bit up there? The steering wheel is the helm. Thank you. Excellent. Look, I'm all clued up now. When I get on a boat, I'll know I've got all the lingo down pat. With your help, I can look like a real, what do they call him? A navvy. Is that right? All right, so 4 months here in Brooklyn. We've absolutely adored it. It's been beautiful. It's strange though, because it's both quiet and it's a really popular place for lots of people to come. So on weekends you get all the motorbike riders and the guys bringing their boats in to launch them and go fishing. So I just had to adjust the little muffle I've got on my microphone. Steering wheel. Thanks, Cynthia. Yeah, I just don't know all the lingo, do I? I just don't know all the terms. So over here you can see, can you imagine if all of these were out at once? Now that would be noisy. All these jet skis for hire. So here we are, we've reached the riverfront. We're going to go for a walk along it. And we're starting to see the oysters. And of course, just around the bend from here, there is an oyster farm. There's also a pearl farm. And I have tried to figure out a way that I could take you on a pearl farm tour, but it was just a little bit expensive and went at the wrong time of day. And there was a question mark over whether I would get a signal at certain points. So unfortunately I wasn't able to do that. But I think that would have been so interesting. Do you hear the magpies? Let's have a look up. I can see it, but it's going to be really difficult for you to see it. So there's a magpie just there above my finger. If I do a zoom in, now that we know where to look, all right, so just where that tree in the center of the frame, oh, he just flew off. Okay, so that was the magpie. I'm glad I didn't build this as a sunrise tour. Sunrise was about 15 minutes ago. It looks really ethereal, doesn't it? So over in that direction is the train line. Can't see it, but it is gradually lifting. All right, let's walk around to the point. The first time I did this tour, I did it on Facebook Live, and once I reached the point, that was the magpie that was in the tree, Cynthia, the one that we were trying to listen to. But there's another one on the ground just down here, so I'm just going to slow down a bit. All right, so he's over there, the black and white bird. He's just gone behind those grasses. I'll just get in a little bit closer. poking out now onto the path. There he is. Okay. So that's the magpie. That's the one responsible for that beautiful song. Just let this lady past. All right. So there's a couple of them over here. Don't know if they'll sing to us while they're standing down there on the grass. They might. So as I was saying, when I went round the point at the end here, I lost the signal almost completely. It was really dire. So I'm not going to go the same way I went last time. There we go. There's the magpies. I won't go quite as far as last time. Let's not tempt fate. No pants rolled up today, Cynthia. No, not today. Bit chilly. It's a bit cold.
This looks serious.
Good morning. But when we move to Nelson Bay in just a few weeks, so I'll be going up there on Thursday. We'll actually both be going up there on Thursday to take over the house sit. I'm doing a private tour on Friday, and during that tour I get to really get to know Nelson Bay a little bit better. I've already done a practice run, so my hope is that one day next week I will take you on the same tour as I'm giving as a private tour, which is basically walking along one beach. It's a protected riverside beach. It's not a surf beach. Walk along that beach, over a little bit of a hill ahead between the two beaches down to a second beach, and it's really, really beautiful. So over here we've got all these interpretive signs about the history of the area. I'm not going to show you every single one, it'll take forever, but I'll just give you an idea of some of them. And this is showing you the General Gordon Rail Ferry in 1901, and it basically says, before the railway bridge opened, Brooklyn was the temporary terminus. Northbound passengers disembarked the train, boarded a paddle steamer to travel to Gosford, and then the journey continued from there. So we actually had a paddle steamer that crossed the river back then. So this area was also used for stationing some of the American soldiers, in actual fact, on a place called Long Island. So you'll notice we're living in Brooklyn, and I think the reason that Brooklyn was called Brooklyn was because the island was firstly called Long Island, and someone funny decided, oh well, you know, if you've got Long Island, we must be at Brooklyn, and that name stuck. But this talks about during World War I, the Australian Army stationed troops on Long Island, but I know that there were Americans stationed there as well. Yeah, so all these interpretive signs about the history of the area, which I won't spend time looking at them all. What am I looking at? Richard's pointing me at something. The boat sunk. Oh, that one right out there. It has too. That boat sunk. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'll zoom in on it. Let's see, because we can't get onto that jetty. It's the gate is locked. It's a private jetty. Where is Manhattan? Yes. Very good question. Very valid question, Michaela. So we've got some work going on here by the looks of it. Part of the park is closed off. So we just need to walk around this part here. Looks like the entire pool. I was going to take you around the pool, but it looks like it's all closed off. Let's have a look. Alright, so it looks like the council doing some works here, which I wasn't aware of. Let's have a look. We've got some paint on the ground. Something's going to happen here. But that's the pool. So we've got a section of the river has been fenced off. to enclose this area to create a swimming space. Yep, so Cynthia, Brooklyn in Australia. Who'd have thought, huh? Down here we've got oysters. Richard kept wanting to come down here and try and scavenge oysters off the rocks, and I reminded him that his tendency to injure himself would probably be an obstacle. We can still walk around this and go to the other side of the pool, so let's do that. Can't go around? Is it completely blocked off? Let's see how far I can get. I'm going to give it a try. We might come to a dead end, but we'll try. All right, so Nelson Bay. Nelson Bay is going to be for 4 months as well. So we have a little 10-day overlap that I mentioned. Yeah, it looks like our path might be blocked, but we'll see how far we can go. So we arrive officially there on the 20th and we leave officially here on the 30th. So we've got a 10-day overlap. Nelson Bay is 2 hours drive from here. So what's going to happen is we're going to go up there, stay a couple of nights, and then Richard will come back here and we'll kind of float between the two places, backwards and forwards for the 10 days. We need to move some stuff, and that's going to take a couple of trips in our small car as well. So I'll be up there. I'll be able to scope tours and get us ready for getting to know the new area. My induction at the Koala Hospital, which some of you probably already know about, I've applied to volunteer at the Koala Hospital. My induction is on Saturday, so that's going to be exciting. Now I do know that oh look, we can. I do know that photography is not permitted, but I'm really hoping that once I'm there and volunteering and giving value, that I might be able to have a conversation, and we'll see if we can't organise something, even if it's just once and even if it's in a fairly limited way. I'd still like to see if we can showcase the Koala Hospital at Port Stephens, which would be amazing, absolutely amazing. Michelle, New South Wales has over 100 ocean pools, but we've got all these river pools as well. Yeah, I do. I love them as well. I think that's what New South Wales is. Absolutely what separates New South Wales as a state, and Sydney in particular, from anywhere else in the world is our love of the water and all the ocean pools and river pools that we have literally everywhere, including one right in the middle of Sydney, in the city. It is exciting, isn't it? Michelle, I love your ocean pools. Lethargy, how exciting. Yes, I know. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm going to try and get Richard to do some volunteering there as well. He can do things like cut branches for the food, or plant new plants, because they constantly need to be regrowing the forests where they harvest the leaves from. So there might be opportunities for him as well. No, it's a different Koala Hospital, Cynthia. That one was Port Macquarie, a little further north. This one I didn't even know existed. So it operates differently. It operates as both a koala sanctuary and a koala hospital. They're two separate entities, but they are related. The one at Port Macquarie is free to go into, which is wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. And they rely heavily on donations and adoptions and their gift shop for raising money. The Koala Hospital at Port Stephens, on the other hand, they have an entry fee. Well, Koala Sanctuary rather has an entry fee. They also offer prestige accommodation. You can do upmarket glamping there. And the Koala Hospital operates as a separate entity and is not open to the public. Oh, the ferry's coming in. Here we go. Here's the little ferry that we went onto the wharf, and the ferry's just coming in from Dangar Island. Let me zoom in on it. And so, Cynthia, that's another great reminder as well. So I've got 2 things on my must-do list when I get home later today. I must remember to add a map to my descriptions when I hold these tours, because we just don't have a map anymore. And I know what I'm like when I watch YouTube videos even. I like to know where we are. So thank you for that reminder. I may even have to go back. Might even have to go back through descriptions of some of my recordings and actually put maps in, links to maps, because it's really helpful. So yes, that ferry just came from Dangar Island, which is over in that direction there, and it's normally right in front of your face. But it's not today because of this fog. All right, so continuing on with Nelson Bay, it's a beautiful area. Some of you may remember Whiskey. I've already been in contact with Whiskey, and we're hoping to catch up. And coincidentally, he's off to Brooklyn, real Brooklyn, on a trip in September. It's one of his first questions he asked me when I said I'm in Brooklyn. He asked, which one? So there, everything's interrelated. I bet it did, Cynthia. It just looked beautiful against the mist, didn't it? And with the pool in the foreground as well. So we'll go a little way along this path, but I'm watching my signal to make sure that it's staying steady while we do. Nelson Bay is on Port Stephens, and there's lots of beautiful beaches around there. Some of them are quite wild, so there's lots of opportunities for walking. There's dolphins in Port Stephens. In fact, while we were having lunch with the owners at a seafood restaurant the other day at their fisherman's wharf, basically, 2 dolphins just happened to swim by quite close, which was lovely, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really looking forward to those opportunities as well. And some of you may also know that I conducted a wish list campaign on Buy Me a Coffee to help me buy an underwater phone case, waterproof case for my phone. We met that target, and thank you all so much for everyone who helped me achieve that goal. I've ordered the underwater case. There is a marine sanctuary at Port Stephens, walking distance from my house. Richard is going to be the one tasked with getting on the snorkel and flippers. Okay, this is where I need to be careful and watch the signal. We're going to send him in to do the testing, and I'll sit up top with his phone to watch and see what the signal's like. So that opens up all sorts of exciting possibilities, because the marine life there in that sanctuary is amazing, including seahorses. How cool is that? Cuttlefish. Even turtles have been seen there. Now, I don't know, I have a bit of a quandary. I don't know whether I should continue around here or just head back. Oh, we've got some cormorants flying by. You might miss them because it's a little bit quick. There they go. All right, I think we've already been going for 45 minutes. So we'll have a quick look around the bend, but I'm mindful that at this point here is where I lost the signal completely when I did this tour the first time round. This, yeah, seahorses, amazing, right? This is where the boat ramp is, where people come, they tow their boats around past the pub, up the hill, round the corner, round the bend, and they put their boats in around here. So I think what I'll do, this signal's still looking okay. You can see how tentative I am. All right, little further, little further. It's going to be gorgeous, CC. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And we'll be there till the end of November, looking after a very elderly cat. Her name's Millie, and she's a beautiful little, very gentle, elderly cat. Tonkinese cat, which apparently is very similar to a Burmese. I'm not sure what the difference is, but it looked like a Burmese to me. All right, so we're going to start heading back towards the marina because we've already been going 45 minutes. The mist is slowly lifting. Last time I also climbed those stairs, but my knees are a little bit sore today, so I'm not going to do that. And there's no view up there at the moment today with the mist anyway, so it's not a lot of point going up there. Yeah, so we'll be in Nelson Bay until the end of November, which is really exciting. I'm so looking forward to it. And then after that, we've got a month in Sydney, in fact in the suburb where I grew up, which will take us over Christmas. And then guys, we've already started researching and planning. Protect my knees, absolutely, always. I know you can replace them, but it's not the same. So next year in January, we're off for a year. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be I'm going to be able to take you to places like, get this, Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand. That's the first 6 months. And Michaela, we have family in Cologne. That's just another little hint as to where next year might take us. No problem, Laurie. It's my pleasure. I love doing this. Absolutely love doing this. So I will be absolutely taking all of you along at every opportunity. So here we go. Let's have a look with the rock. These beautiful sandstone rocks. Family in Toronto. I'm sorry, Laurie, I don't have family in Toronto. But I have a very long list of places that I would love to go to. So you just never know where we might pop up. I do have a brother in San Francisco, or just outside of San Francisco. But do I need a guide in Cologne? Happy, I would love to catch up with you. We'll meet under the dome at the Fru. How about that? Are they a little further down the river from Long Island, Brooklyn? Yeah, Michelle, we are really excited. I just love the planning part of it so much. And I've been reading and watching YouTube videos, and I've got a wish list, as I said, as long as your arm. So many things that are going into my notes. And I'd really like to catch up with people like Hoi in Hoi An. And so there's lots and lots of opportunities and possibilities, and I can't wait to actually take you all to all these new and exciting places. Fru is for tourists. Careful is better. Okay, excellent. The Fru was pretty good though, Michaela, I have to say. It was Richard's aunts and uncles, his mother's cousins that took us there. So we had the most wonderful time with his Tante Rani and Tante Susie and Tante Gretchen and their husbands and their kids, their adult children. And my daughters loved it. And we were there, when we were there was 5 years ago, for the Christmas markets. So we saw the wonderful, what was that? We saw the wonderful Christmas markets, and there were about 4 or 5 of them we saw in little pockets all around Cologne. So stay tuned, Michaela. Our guess is that we probably be in Germany, well, towards the latter half of next year. So we don't intend to stay there very long. We probably plan to stay in Spain longer because we think our money will go further in Spain than it will in Germany. But we have to visit the family, and they're all in Cologne. So there you go. I hope I make it to California, then we could meet. You were too busy in February when I was in Sydney. Oh, CC, did you, is that Christine? Did you send me a message? I'm sure I would have made myself available. I know it was when we were living in the Blue Mountains and we were moving out of our house and getting ready to travel. But never mind.
Morning.
Good morning. Joanne says, you never know, our paths might cross on our travels. Joanne, I know you're heading off on a big trip in January as well, so yes, we should compare itineraries. Our paths might cross indeed. Michaela, now you have a new virtual cousin. That's wonderful. Yes, and if we do happen to meet up, and I'd really like that. Hang on, he's pointing. Oh, the sun's appeared. Finally, the sun's made an appearance, and that just looks gorgeous. Look at this. Wow. I'm going to zoom in on that one. There we go. I am, Alicia. I'm considering Portugal as well. Spain and Portugal. They both look amazing, and I know that your money goes a lot further in those two countries. So yes, we're looking at possibly Valencia, probably Vigo in the north, and hi Joyce, Galicia, yeah, and definitely Portugal. We've been to Portugal. We've been to, I'm zooming out again before I turn the camera. Wait a second. We've been to Portugal. We spent a week while we were living in the UK. We spent a week in Viana do Castelo, I think was the name of the town. Aside from the motorboat. Yes, Greg. All right, and the camo truck. The motorbike's under covers. Bit of a mixture, eh? All right, so we're going to head back to the coffee shop. We'll order a coffee and then I'll wave goodbye to you all. So what did you think? What did you think, if for those of you who had never been to Brooklyn before, did you enjoy it? And for those of you who have been to Brooklyn with me, how do you feel about leaving? I know we'll be sad to go, but as far as I'm concerned, it's new places, new adventures, and there's always so much to see. Thanks, Sally. What a fun little place. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Laurie. Back to the coffee shop we go. Yes, that's right. So we're going to go and I'm not sure if Lucinda is on yet. Lucinda is the cafe owner. She's lovely. She might have one of her staff on at this time of day, I'm not sure. All right, so that's the other way to get up to the top of the hill and over to the boat ramp. It's a bit steep. And I don't know if you get the sense that it's very hilly terrain around here, which is why I didn't actually do very many tours in this area. The walks either all involve quite steep hills or steep steps. And this is really what we're doing right now is about the only flat and level path. Apart from the boardwalk that I did a forest bathing tour on once. Trying to just catch up. You're welcome, Joanne. Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. Emoji too small. Oh, I see. Okay. Right. So you were posting an emoji, and I mistook it for a comment. I absolutely adore this tree. Sorry, guys, but you're going to cop a tree. When you're with me, you're going to cop a tree. Here we go. Let's have a look. Okay, we're going up. We're going up, up, up. There we go. Beautiful tree. Beautiful, gorgeous tree. And as we come back down, we have another new little friend. Here he is. I don't know what you've done to your tail, mate. Looks like you're having a bad hair day. This is one of our brush turkeys, or sometimes called scrub turkeys. Okay, I'll try and zoom in on him. Yep, there he goes. All right, on to the coffee shop. And I'm going to need a drink of water when I get there as well. Okay, now what was I going to say? I had something right on the tip of my tongue and it's gone. I've lost it. It's gone. Vanished from my mind. Never mind. Do you name the trees you encounter? My daughter has a cactus she named Trixie. No, I don't. I would run out of names. I love all the trees I meet. This is a little craft cottage. They have a rotating exhibition space in there. We're back to Fitzy's Fish and Chips. They do really good prawn cutlets in here. And of course fresh oysters. You can't come to Brooklyn and not have oysters. And then up ahead is our cafe. Joyce, I'm not going to argue with you there. I totally agree. I love our trees. Oh, here we go. Here's one doing what they are known for doing. And this is why gardeners hate them. They're always doing this. Yeah. Doing it in a driveway ain't so smart, mate. All right, let's go see if Lucinda's at the cafe. So I'm going to head on in, order a coffee, and then I'll say goodbye to everybody. And I don't actually have anything at all scheduled, but some of you may have noticed that I've been editing videos and uploading them as and when they're ready. No, Lucinda's not there. Joanne, they're probably doing a bit of both. Nesting and looking for food. Rich is going to order coffee. There's a couple of people in there, so we'll wait a moment. Hi, Laurie. So here we are. We're just going to have a coffee in here in this lovely little cafe. And I'm going to sign off. Oh, no problem, Laurie. Okay. And that's Lucinda up there. Okay. Richard's ordered the coffee, so we're good to go. All right, so yeah, as I was saying, I haven't got any new tours scheduled yet. We're going to wait till I settle in up in Nelson Bay before I schedule anything new. But in the meantime, I am continuing to edit videos from Hago Time. I've got a lot. I've got so many. I managed to download all bar 2 of my tours, so that was over 200. So I've really got a lot of material there. Check out my YouTube channel. There's probably I've uploaded, I think, already about, well, this is including tours that I've done live, probably about 100. I'll say hi for you, Michelle. He's sitting inside and I'm outside now, but I will definitely say hi for you. All right, so thanks again, everyone. Let's get away from this truck. Yeah, thanks, everyone. New adventures. I'll see you all on our next adventure. And thank you. Let's turn this camera around one last time to look at the pub and the mist. The pub and the mist, which is still there. There we go. Thanks, Gregory. Thanks, Joyce. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Michelle. Alrighty. Bye for now.